ain't lying to me. I don't know. Okay, and I've got the comments on a different screen here, so hopefully it'll be a little easier. I got my mic working, testing 1, 2, 3. Can everybody hear me? If you could comment below, that would be absolutely super. Let's see. Just want to make sure this is all set. Can everybody hear me okay? A comment would be awesome right now. I'll test out the piano sound. Let's see. Coming in clearly, audio and video. Okay, 2 thumbs up. Very good. Well, happy Friday, everybody, and welcome. Hope you have an awesome week. I think it's been a great week. And I got lots of music to sight read today. I've got some Bach. This is the, well, it's a lot of keyword music. It's some of the English suites, the French suites, partitas, Goldberg variations. We're not going to sight read that. My favorite, the Chopin mazurkas. We got a little Mozart. This is the real deal edition. This is the Henley edition. Ain't messing around there. And someone asked for me to sight read some Schoenberg. If you don't know much about Schoenberg, he started the whole 12-tone music thing, so a lot of it sounds very atonal. It's not clear if there's a tonal center, which makes it really hard to sight read. But hey, this is what I do for you guys. So Opus 19, you asked for it. I'm going to try one of those 2 pieces at a certain point. But we're not going to start with that. I think we'll start with a little Bach today. We might even do a little ragtime. I pulled this out. One of my fellow music teachers was getting rid of a bunch of music, and she gave me, this is Ragtime Showstoppers. So ragtime's not all easy to sight read, so I figured I would do some tricky stuff for all of you today. So any comments you have below, let me know. And if there's something you want me to sight read, I might be able to pull it out on Music Library either this time or next time. So let's take a look at our Bach. Let's see. I actually have never played any of the partitas. It's Allemande. Let's see. Partita number 2 in B flat major. Let's look at the Sarabande. The Sarabande, typically English suites, French suites, partitas, often they'll have a Sarabande, which is on the slower side. So I think we're going to start with that, since if it's a slower piece of music, obviously it's going to be a little easier to sight read. Hello, hey Gigi. I'm glad to have Gigi here. I got a few of my piano students here. Awesome. Welcome, welcome. We're sight reading Bach. So this is the Sarabande from the second partita, and this part is in C minor. I'm going to add maybe a little ornamentation, which is typically what people do if they're doing repeats on a lot of these suites. very interesting piece, isn't it? Yeah, Gigi says amazing. Very good. Well, thank you, Gigi. That's quite a piece. So Sarabande typically is going to be in 3/4. It's like a dance. You rarely, if at all, looked down at the keys. That's an interesting observation. Yeah, I guess that's one thing you have to do is to keep your eyes on the music. Like when you're sight reading, you want to keep looking ahead. We talked a little bit about that a few weeks ago. So if you're not looking ahead, I'd like to compare it to if you're driving or if you're riding a bike, you know, you want to make sure you look ahead, not like, oh, I'm looking down the wheel. But you don't want to look too far ahead. That's one of my students said that this week. You don't want to look too far ahead. All right, let's see if we can find one in a major key. Let's see. I'm really, let's see. Courant. Here is a suite number 2. Let's see, is that also in C minor? Well, I picked another one in C minor. What am I doing here? Let's see. If anybody has any suggestions for a piece, please let me know. There's a lot of minor in here. Come on, Bach. What's going on here? All right, this one looks like it's in C major, but it's part of a prelude. These are pretty long, and these are actually, I'm challenging myself a little extra here because the suites, these tend to be, it's not just, you know, melody in the right hand and accompaniment in the left hand. There's 2 separate lines going on at the same time. So it's actually a really good challenge for the mind. This one is in F major, I believe. I'm just going to give the first page a try. Remember we talked a little bit about last time. You don't have to play the whole thing, but I don't know this one well, so I'm going to play it really slowly, and let's see how it goes. This is suite number 4. I'm playing the first page of the prelude. Not too shabby. What I should have mentioned before is I probably should have looked through the piece to see if there are any tricky spots. Jimmy's here. How's it going, Jimmy? Good to have you here. How long does it take to remember where all the notes are? It's a good question. That's maybe you can. How long does it take to remember where all the notes are? Like in a given measure, Jimmy? Do you mean, or over the course of just, you know, studying piano? How do you remember like where C is and things like that? I noticed one of your recent videos where you played, there's a little delay in the comments here, so forgive me. One of your recent videos you played the violin. Do you ever sight read violin pieces? Yes, often at church I'll sight read new pieces, although a lot of the hymns stay the same. Jimmy, when I look at the music, I get lost. That's interesting. So I guess it depends, like if it's a piece, like Jimmy really knows Rock 2, part of the Rock 2 piano concerto really well. That piece is hard to look at. I mean, if you're playing... with that stuff, boy, you know, that's going to take practice, keeping your face glued, your eyes glued to the page. But peripheral vision really does count too for something. I can sort of see where my hands are at, but that's a really good case for memorizing something. You're going to know it better if you memorize it, especially if it's not just finger memory. So Jimmy, that's something I would maybe practice. Let's say if you're looking at the music and you feel like you're getting lost, maybe start with some of those Chopin mazurkas. We might look at some of those and practice kind of simpler pieces where you really consciously keep your eyes glued to the page as you're going. And, you know, that way you're really kind of resisting the urge to look down, although I think that's probably a good thing. It means you're in the process of memorizing a piece of music. Could you play Autumn Ballade, please, maybe? Ah, yes, I'll make sure I play Autumn Ballade. That's one of the pieces out of the Faber books. Oh, it's sitting under my... I will play that at shortly. I'm going to do a little more sight reading. Yes, that's one of my awesome students suggested that. Yeah, Jimmy, I hope that's a good answer. One of your videos. Yeah, so sight reading violin pieces is a lot easier for me because I'm not dealing with so many chords and notes all at the same time. It's a lot easier to sight read, I would say, on the violin. Violinists, don't get mad at me. But that's been my experience playing violin as well. Do you encourage your students to memorize your pieces? I do. Not all the pieces that they play, but especially for recitals and stuff. We're going to put Mr. J.S. Bach down there. And we're going to look at a little bit of Mozart, shall we? Let's see. Let's look up a little cheerful Mozart. Make sure it's one that I haven't already played. This is on the honor system, folks. I'm really, you know, I wouldn't lie to you. I haven't seen these ones before. If I did, I wouldn't remember. Let's see. How about this one? This one's an E flat major. This is the second movement of Kershaw 457. This is a Mozart sonata. Again, this is a slower movement. Looks pretty complicated. I might not do the entire thing because it looks rather long. So maybe I'll just experiment with the first 2 pages and let's see where we get. He says sotto voce at the beginning means under the voice, so quite softly. I'm looking through it first before, and I'm noticing there's a lot of, we got some 30-second notes in here. So that means I don't want to start it too fast because when I get to the 30-second notes, crazy town, right? So I want to make sure that I find the shortest note value because that's going to determine my tempo. So I'm going to think probably something like that. That's kind of funny. This piece, I'm deciding I'm going to keep going. I might regret it. We'll see what the next page brings. I didn't look ahead. Wow. Little G flat major action here. Now that is a gem. I'm really glad that I found that. Ooh, you know what? I just realized I made a big boo-boo. I do not have my my charger. I can't believe this is happening in the middle of a live stream. I will be right back when you get my phone charger. So think about your questions. I'll be right back. There's always something, folks. Always have your phone charger ready to go. All right. And I'll take a look at your questions. There we go. Need the phone to have juice. All right. Sorry about that. Let's see. All right. I should be back, everybody. I see that it was frozen. Video is okay now. Sorry about that, everybody. I hope that you didn't miss the very end of the Mozart. If you missed the very end of the Mozart, here's the very end. That's the very end of the Mozart. I'm glad the video is back. Do you ever listen to a recording prior to sight reading, or does it defeat the purpose? Well, often, you know, a lot of us have heard certain pieces of music, so sometimes it's in our head whether we realize it or not, and so when you go back, oh, I remember this piece of music. Sometimes that can happen. So yeah, but in terms of sight reading it, typically I won't try to listen to it beforehand. It's almost kind of cheating in a way, I think, because the goal is to mainly develop your reading skills. And as you go through, that's going to help develop your oral skills as well. If I have to reach a fifth or a sixth, I usually miss. I can play best looking at the music if I've already memorized the piece. Yeah. Well, one thing, yeah, I mean, your fingers will get more familiar, I guess. You can recognize on the page, oh, that looks like a fifth or it looks like a sixth. Doing some of those hand exercises, you know, parallel fifths, parallel sixths, and things like that can be helpful. But in terms of, you could find pieces of music or etudes that use those where you just stay glued to the page, you know, and that way you're developing those. Okay, let's see. Why don't we turn to a little bit of I hope the video is still okay. Jake C says the video is still okay. I hope that's the case. Let's look at a little Chopin. Oh, I already know that one, so I won't sight read that one for you. Let's see. I see one. Looks like it's an F minor. This is Opus 50, number 1. It's got 4 flats. Let's take that one. See how that is. It's allegretto. I'm not going to go allegretto here. I notice there's sort of a little polonaise type rhythm in the middle. But mainly it looks like right hand's got most of the melody. I'm just going to look through, see if I see anything too crazy. Doesn't look like it, so. Still okay video. All right, awesome. 2 thumbs up. Sorry for that delay. Let's see. So Opus 50, number 2. I'm going to take it on the slow side. Turn. Wow, that's charming. It really surprises. It surprises you. Bach Prelude in C minor. Let's see. Is that you want me to play the Bach Prelude in C minor, Jimmy? The I like that one. You know, that would be a good one if you want to stay focused on the page. That's a good one to practice. Noticing the intervals on the page, Jimmy. I love that piece. I also like the, I really like the fugue too. Maybe I'll do a music musings video on that one. What about the fugue? Yeah. You know, I think that would be cheating because I already know the fugue, sort of. I started learning the first part of it. But I could try to sight read that, but it would be sort of cheating a little bit. All right, one of my awesome students wanted me to play the Autumn Ballade. I hope I don't like demonetize for this. This is one of the one of the Faber books. Do I have the right one? It's in the lesson book, isn't it, Drew? Aha! The famous Piano Adventures lesson book. Fun! Oh, now it's asking me to update. Thank you, Microsoft. Let's see. Autumn Ballade. This is a really beautiful piece, though. It's by Nancy Faber, one of the famous Fabers. They wrote or put together the Piano Adventures. And this is a lovely piece here. It has a lovely autumn feeling to it, very breezy. So I should have this memorized by now, but a lot of nice jazzy chords. Back to this theme. So let's think about if you're sight reading this piece, and you might have seen this before or heard this before. Some of you probably haven't. I'm assuming Jake C. Oh, I thought you were talking about someone else. What a Genius was talking about the Faber book. You want to look ahead in this piece to your left-hand notes. You're playing these octaves. And when you're sight reading, you notice that they're octaves. Look at the top one first, especially in this case, if you notice, I don't know if you can see on the screen, some of those bottom notes. Those are way down low there. And those are hard to sight read. So you might even want to just notch those in with a pencil. Just write in, okay, those are those bass notes, because that really takes up too much mental space. Just, okay, that's a low F. Boom, write it in there instead of, okay, there's 5 lines, burp, 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 right? And then look ahead to things like at the very end, okay, you got to know that your left hand's going to cross over the right hand. That is a very pretty piece, yes. Yes, all right. Should we look a little ragtime? All right, so this was a request. This is not something that I would particularly enjoy sight reading, to be honest. I'm not a real big fan of Schoenberg, but this is Opus 19. I'm going to play the first of these. Look at the page. Yeah, it doesn't look like the easiest thing to play, and it's not going to sound very lovely. His music was based off this 12-tone idea, which was you repeat every of the 12 tones in, you have C up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Hi, Gigi. Gigi smiles. And then the 12th tone. And the idea is you have to play all those 12 tones before you can restart it. So it's more sort of like brain stuff. So see what you guys think. Maybe you'll say, come on, Jen, this stuff is awesome, So let me know what you think. This is the first of the Opus 19. All right, this is really hard to look through because there are just so many notes, so I'm really going to rely on slowing it down and looking ahead. There you have it, everybody. Cool. Coco. Mini Coco. Hi, Mini Coco. Welcome to our live stream. All right, let's look at the second one. It's slow. Looks a little easier. Ooh, jingle bells. Ha ha. You know what that sounds like? It sounds like the Mockingbird. You know, I used to have a Scarlatti K435. Jimmy, I'm going to write down your suggestions, and I promise I'll bring those next time. Or I'll play them for the Patreon. Hey, by the way, thank you to the Patreons. It's because of my Patreons, my awesome supporters there, that I'm able to do these live streams for you guys on YouTube. And one reason I'm able to keep doing them, you know, it always takes new equipment, new video stuff, new sound stuff. And that's a big shout out to all my Patreons. So what do you think of these Schoenberg pieces? I'll play one more, and you can let me know, like, hey, don't do this. Don't do this. I really don't like this stuff. Or you can say, hey, more of it. Let's look at number 3. Sehr langsam in German means very. Matthew, we got a lot of Claire de Lune. Yes, I will play Claire de Lune. I will try to fit that in. Number 3. Sehr langsam means very slow in German. So let's see. Supposed to hold that G. Pretty interesting. Very dissonant. Yes, it is very dissonant. Okay, bye-bye, Schoenberg. We had fun. And I hope that, I mean, it really is good exercises. It takes study and stuff, but it's just not my cup of tea, as they say. I am just opening up to this Ragtime Showstoppers book just for fun. Let's see. All right, I might be kicking myself for deciding to sight read Ragtime, because Ragtime's, you know, it's got a lot of octaves and stuff, a lot of chord jumps. Oh, it really doesn't want to stay down. All right, well, let's get another book. All right, Chopin, you're going here. All right, this is called The Peach. It's a sentimental rag. It's played slowly. Thank you, Lord. It's not a fast one. All right, let's see. Ragtime. Ragtime's good stuff. Oh, I didn't notice that. The composer is Arthur Marshall. Arthur Marshall is our composer. Here we go. It's going to be a lot different than what you just heard. needs a repeat. Let's see. Woo! I feel like I should be on a carnival ride or something like that. Fun! It reminds me a little of, what kind of music? Calliope? Calliope? I don't know what that means. When you play one octave and the chord is in the left hand, you feel the keys first. Octave and then a chord. No, I would say I don't have time to find the keys first for sure. Yeah, that's pretty tricky stuff there. Good. Well, tell you what. All right, so I'll end with a little Clair de Lune. Someone wanted to hear Clair de Lune, and we'll go ahead and end with that. Thanks for everybody for merry-go-round. Yeah, for joining us today. A little water. It's a little warm in here. Actually, I'm going to open the door over here, so it's not quite so warm. For some reason, in my piano room, things aren't quite. There we go. All right. So we're going to hear a little bit of Clair de Lune. Someone requested that. Who requested that? Someone did. Matthew, here's a little Clair de Lune for your Friday evening. I keep learning new things every time I play that piece. It really is quite something. Let's see, my left hand always overpowers. You really good. Oh, look at these people saying I'm really good. Thank you. Well, I have to thank my teachers for that one. My left hand always overpowers my right hand in the piece. I don't know how to fix it. Sounds like it's all squashed together and not smooth. Well, I'll tell you what, Matthew, I'll give you a few things to think about. It's one of the hardest things, I think, of piano is to balance the hands. You know, we're used to doing so many things, you know, with the hands working together, and it's very hard to balance. It's not just like, oh, make your right hand lighter and your left hand heavier. One thing you can do is, I call it ghost playing. So let's say if you want to work on this part. So the left hand's not, you know, it's you don't want that, right? The moon's not really heavy, right? So what you can do is you play the right hand, but you only just kind of slightly touch the keys without playing them. That might not be the best example because, you know, the right hand also has some of those chords, that stuff, but maybe even more reason to practice it like that. And it's going to feel really weird at first. I promise it's going to be wacky. If it doesn't feel weird, you're doing it wrong, okay? And then the second phase of this type of practice is you let some of those notes sound. Okay. And then the third part is you let most of the notes sound. But, you know, you're barely pressing the keys down. Okay, and then the fourth phase would be, okay, start, you know, put the pedal back there. That was interesting. That's one thing you can do. It's a little bit easier probably to show if you're, let's say, even if you want to voice a certain kind of chord, Matthew, which you might want to do, let's say this stuff, which is my favorite part of the whole piece, I think. Well, you don't want it to be like... So what I'd suggest is you actually start with the top note that you want to be highlighted or present, and you just do sort of a reverse arpeggio thing. So, and you consciously put weight on that top note, and then really lighten it up from there, and then you get those notes closer and closer together. So then when you have, and eventually your hand will, you know, level out that way. A lot of it is knowing what you want, right? So you know you want that top note to sound, so you can try that sort of reverse arpeggio thing. I hope that you find that helpful. But yeah, try that ghost playing method. I think that you might find it helpful. And let me know, comment, you know, later on if you felt, hey, hey, that really helped, or you say, hey, you know, it didn't work. And I'll try to come up with something else for you. I really love to help if I can. Corey Newman, good to see you here. Heartfelt and beautiful. And speaking of Debussy, sometime soon play the... yes, yes. Okay, I need to keep track of all the recommendations. I know, Corey, you wanted to hear that last time. I'll make sure we do that for next time. Let's see. Thanks from Ireland. Oh, from Ireland. Oh, that's great. Well, I have a little Irish blood in me, so I feel a certain kinship with you. That's great. Sing my round of when Irish eyes are smiling. Do 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 do. Oh, I feel like I should be sight reading one more piece. I don't know. Maybe one more Chopin. What do we think? I think we'll sight read one more Chopin. And if you have to leave, you can leave. That's the beauty of the live stream. It's not like leaving a concert. You know, if someone left during one of my concerts, I'd be like, what are they leaving for? But with this, thankfully, I don't have that problem. Let's see. I don't know. Chopin just speaks to me today for some reason. This one looks like it's in... Oh, we did this one last time. I can't... I guess I could redo one. This is an E minor. This looks like it's in C minor. Ooh, some tricky ones here. Oh, let's look at this one. I won't do all the repeats. D major. This is Mazurka Opus 33, number 2. I don't think I've done this one yet, so let's see. Now I recognize this one. notice what I was doing there? I was reducing some of that because it was too many notes going on. That's another method. If you're sight reading, just reduce it down. Chopin will understand, you know. Well, that's a wacky ending there. I don't know if I played that correctly. What was Chopin thinking with that? It's kind of strange. Is it like kind of like a galloping horse kind of thing? And then the last chord here, or the last scale, he kind of hints at the Lydian mode there. Pretty interesting. One last question. I'm 18. I've been teaching myself for 2 years. Congratulations, Matthew. That's awesome. Do you think music theory / social would be the best way to improve? Well, I think anytime you can get a really good teacher, you know, really go for it. I think, you know, kudos to you for teaching yourself. That is awesome. I think everybody should give Matthew a round of applause. You know, keep going. You know, I think I don't know all the stuff that you've been studying, if it's mainly classical or other stuff, but you know, feel free to reach out to me, and I'd be happy to email you a little bit more about it. You can find my email on my website. It's jncpiano@hotmail.com. But I would say definitely if you can find a really good teacher, music theory and lessons, you know, doing theory stuff, it's good. You get to know the inner workings of music. I like to call it musical grammar, musical vocabulary. It's good to know the language that you're in and you're dealing with. And that will definitely help all of your, you know, whether it's sight reading skills or whether it's just learning new pieces of music. You know, depending on, you know, the level, if you want to do some of those method books, the Faber Adult Piano Adventures have some nice kind of sight reading material, and they might kind of fill in some certain kind of gaps that you might have. So I hope that might be helpful. Feel free to reach out. Happy to help. Someone wanted you to play Cheers last time. Can we leave suggestions in the comments? Yes, leave suggestions in the comments for further sight reading. I had that Cheers around there somewhere. Yes. Thanks, Jimmy, for joining us. Yes, thank you, everyone, for joining us today. We almost did a whole hour here. I apologize for that slight inconvenience. Well, we had 2 bumps today. First, it was the, or no, it was just 1 bump. Yeah, it froze. The reason it froze is because I didn't have my charger there ready to go, which I usually have for my lessons. Like I said, it's always something. But I don't know how much of the Mozart you were to hear. I found a lot of great music today. I'm really excited actually about this ragtime book. I think that was great. It's nice to have a lot of variety. And I didn't realize how much ragtime music there was. It's quite a lot out there. So cheers. I'll make sure I do that next time. We have some Scarlatti. A few you recommended that. So I will go through the comments and make sure. Well, next time we might have a mini recital of stuff for everybody. If you know all the things that we've seen in the comments, I'll make sure I go through and do those. So everybody, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. It's pretty warm around here, so I hope you're able to stay cool if it's warm out there. Hope you're able to get out a little sunshine, get a little vitamin D, all that good stuff. So stay well, and that's in every way. That's mentally, physically, spiritually, all those things. You know, those all are very important things. So hope you have a wonderful week. And this is the Bye Chichi, see you on Tuesday. My awesome students. Oh, my students are the best. All right, let's see if I can do this the right way. This is my second time doing the live stream this way. Do you want to stop streaming?